We usually end our regular week on Live at 5 with one of our favorite segments. It's the News Hounds Friday World Animal Roundup. They've had a busy year and picked out some of the best stories from 2012. So without further ado, here's Esty and Lola.
Monkey see, monkey do. Cindy Little and her son Preston recently visited the chimpanzee exhibit at a zoo in Kansas. The baby caught the attention of a 2-year-old chimp named Mabuso. Esty says that's when the monkey business all began. The two toddlers began mimicking each other through the glass. Zoo officials say Mabuso was excited to see a young face since there are no other baby chimps living with him. Mother Nature never ceases to amaze.
Lola found one lucky koala bear. This little guy was discovered clinging to a charred tree in Port Lincoln, Australia. Following a massive wildfire, a passerby saw the little bear and offered it some water. How he survived is anyone's guess, but for people here, he's a symbol of hope.
Esty says, show off. This bulldog is turning heads in Indianapolis. He can skateboard better than most humans. 3-year-old Max can sure wow a crowd. He's learned to shift his weight to guide the board from side to side. He can even ride it downstairs. Max's owner says there's nothing he likes better than rolling down the street. And so far, no broken doggy bones.
Lola found out shepherds are moving their flocks to warmer grazing ground in southern Spain, and the route takes them right through the streets of Madrid. Turns out this dates back centuries, and the farmers are intent on maintaining their ancient grazing and driving rights. If you're counting sheep, there are 2,500 of them in this parade, plus a few oxen and cattle, and of course, sheep dogs. All this sheep counting is making Lola a little sleepy.
Esty wonders, why do the salmon cross the road? These fish navigating hundreds of miles got sidetracked by floodwaters in Washington State. It was a struggle for them to swim over farmlands and roads and get back on track. But it was big fun for this fish and pooch.
Finally, Lola wants you to meet E.T., a resident of the Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium in Tacoma, Washington. He's quite vocal. E.T., phone home.
Esty's out of breath just watching this story. A stray dog followed a cross-country bike team for 24 days from southwest China's Sichuan province to Lhasa in Tibet, and his story has touched many people. One of the bikers spotted a ratty white dog that looked hungry, so he fed it. That was that. They call him Shasha. They took him to a vet. He checked out fine. Little guy traveled nearly 1,300 miles with the team, hitching a ride occasionally. They climbed over 10 mountains en route. At the end, the biker who found him has now adopted little Shasha.
These 3 rescue dogs in New Zealand are being taught how to drive a car. Lola is not kidding. Trainer Mark Vett started training them in September with simple movements like shifting, sitting in a driving position, and holding a steering wheel. The students are Monty, an 18-month-old giant schnauzer, Ginny, a 1-year-old whippet cross, and Porter, a 10-month-old beardy cross. They practiced on a trolley. Finally, it was time to get in a real car with a trainer riding shotgun to help with the steering. Monty takes the wheel like it's the most natural thing in the world. The order comes to put it in gear, and he knows exactly what to do. A truly remarkable sight. Hey, Monty, can you give us a lift?
Esty says a mutt of a mystery has been solved at the Happy Tail Resort in Norfolk, Virginia. The owner of the place thought the staff was leaving gates open, allowing the dogs to run free within the doggy daycare. Cliff Faulkner says the owner laid down the law.
Says, Cliff, you need to make sure you lock these gates. The dogs are getting out.
I was furious. I'm like, I don't care who it is, but if I find out, I'm going to fire you.
Before anybody got canned, this pooch spilled the beans. It turns out Della, a clever yellow lab, has not met a lock she can't unlatch. Caught red-pawed on camera, she lets the whole pack run free. Turns out the motivation for the great escape was a dip in the pool. Partners in crime don't seem to mind. The owner is going to install better locks, a whole lot better locks.
Lola wants you to meet Buttermilk, a bouncing, jumping dwarf goat from Maine. Buttermilk is a media sensation. Her family posted this video online, and it's, well, jumping off the charts. Buttermilk's done this since she was born. Why? She's a goat, and as long as the other goats don't seem to mind, Buttermilk will keep on churning.
Finally, when pigs fly, or at least dive, Esty says yes, these little piggies love diving into this pond. The farmer who owns these porkers says he makes the pigs dive at least 3 times a day from this nearly 10-foot high platform into the water below. And they really seem to enjoy it. Some pigs dive up to 30 times a day. The farmer says the exercise is good for the hogs. They're leaner and healthier. Yep, these little piggies went wee all the way into the deep end.
And that's this week's edition of the News Hounds.
It's been an interesting year for animals. Thank you, Esty and Lola, for a wonderful look back at 2012, and we'll be right back.